everyone. I'm going to give just a couple of seconds to let people join on and have the notification pop up for them that we have gone live for our afternoon. I know sometimes those notifications take a little bit, and so I want to make sure that everyone has a chance to click on before we get started. Hi, Natalie. Hi, Grace. So my name is Alicia Nelson, and I am the camp director out at Camp Pisgah out of just outside of Brevard. And so we are part of Girl Scouts Carolinas Peaks to Piedmont, and so we serve Central and Western North Carolina. And I'm here today to talk to you guys and teach you a little bit about how to make some homemade fire starters, as well as go over just a little bit of fire safety and some tips. And so I know last week, I believe it was last week, my friend Emily went over some things with Leave No Trace, and within that, one of the things that she talked about was fire safety and how before you ever start a fire anywhere, you need to make sure that you're doing it in a safe place. And one of the things that she talked about was making sure that you're not in a place that's too dry, that you make sure to dig out a fire ring or a fire pit wherever you are so that you don't catch anything on fire that you shouldn't. And so my disclaimer for this video will be we will teach you how to make some homemade fire starters. And if you guys can please refrain from lighting or testing these out in your homes, make sure you always have an adult or someone in a safe space with you before you test these out. So, why are some of the reasons that we would want to take some fire starters with us whenever we go camping or out in the woods? Well, there's a lot of different things that can happen when we go on a camping trip or when we go hiking. As I think everyone knows, weather can be very unpredictable. And so you could have the clearest forecast for a camping trip that you could imagine. And then, of course, you get there and you set up your tent and it starts to rain. And then becomes the mad scramble to gather all of your sticks, your wood, and everything you can to build your fire. And sometimes if things are just a little bit too damp or you're not able to find the materials that you need, you can need a little bit of extra help getting a fire started. I know I did a lot of backpacking and hiking in Colorado when I lived there, and I know I had several times where the weather just got the best of us, and even though we had everything we needed that extra help with a fire starter. So I'm going to teach you how to make some fire starters with things from your home. So some of the things we'll be using today are some petroleum jelly. We're going to be using some pieces from a cardboard egg carton, some toilet paper rolls, dryer lint, some cotton pads or cotton balls if you have those as well, and then some paper that we have. And so I'm using some scrap paper from some doodles I was making when I was working on some designs earlier today. Okay, so the first one that we're going to make is you're going to go ahead and take your egg carton. If you need to cut this up or take a piece off, you can go ahead and do that. And you just need one piece of an egg carton. So one piece of an egg carton. And then you just want to take your finger into your petroleum jelly and you want to rub that Vaseline along the inside of your egg carton. And so what you're doing right here is you're creating a little bit of something that we can have some things stick to. So after you have your, I think you can see it there. So after you have it spread along the inside, you're going to take some paper. Again, I have some scratch paper, and you just want to tear up your paper into some small pieces and kind of stick it along the insides just like this. And there you have one of your fire starters. The great things about these ones is that these are really easy to stack together and then carry in a bag, or I used to use one of the small stack-sized Pringles cans. Is once you have one made, you just stick another one on the inside, and then you can continue to make them this way. Now, these are really great. All of these fire starters are ones that you would want to use and stick underneath your fire however you've built it. So whether or not you made a teepee or a log cabin or anything else, you would want to put these fire starters in the very center to light these. Another one that we can make is if you take a cotton pad or a cotton ball or even a Q-tip, and then you just take some of your petroleum jelly and just rub it onto the top or one side. So you want to rub it onto one side and spread that out. What you can actually do is you can leave these out, place them face up so that the side with the Vaseline is facing towards the top. And if you let those sit out for about an hour, those will actually dry out, and then you can have an entire stack of these to use as fire starters as well. So that's another good one. Those are really great. Another thing that you can do is if you don't want to cover the entire side, sometimes it's good to just cover, almost like if you guys have seen those black and white cookies that come out where they cover half of the cookie in white chocolate and half of the cookie in milk chocolate. You can cover half, and that lets you touch the entire other side so that you can kind of move it around. And again, those will need to sit up for about an hour or so to dry out. And then once they've dried out, you can stack those up and use them. And if you make it a little bit too thick, sometimes it'll take a little bit longer. One of my best friends used to swear by making sandwiches. And so she also makes sandwiches with hers. And so instead of just doing one and waiting for them to dry, she'll take an entire glob and then stick them together, and then just have fire starter sandwiches. And so that's another really good one that you can do as well. All right, so the last one that we're gonna do is you're gonna take your cotton ball or one of your cotton pads and your roll of toilet paper and go ahead and just stick that into the bottom, almost like you're creating a catch. So mine's there. You can see it's going to catch anything that I throw into it. And then you just want to take a bunch of dryer lint and stuff dryer lint all the way down there. And then that will hold all of your dryer lint. So those are 3 different ways to make some really great fire starters that you can take with you. Again, we always want to use as many natural resources that we can that are available. And so you want to be able to find fallen sticks or pine cones and things like that around you. However, sometimes the things that we're trying to use, we just need a little bit of extra help getting our fire started. And so it's always good to be able to use those. And again, remember, we always want to light our fires in a safe place. Another thing that's always important to check for before you go on a hike or camping is to check with the county's fire department and see if fires are allowed to be burning at the time. And so I know I currently live, Camp Pisgah is in Transylvania County, and Transylvania County is currently in a fire ban. And so I'm actually not allowed right now to have fires lit outside because the county has said that it's been a little bit too dry, and so it's not safe to do that with the wind and everything. So before you go on a trip, that's another thing to always check and make sure before you go out into the woods, especially when you're in state or national parks. You always want to make sure that you have permission and that you can safely light a fire wherever you are. So again, my name is Alicia, and I am with Girl Scouts Carolinas Peaks to Piedmont. We would love to talk to you guys more about our programs. We are launching some virtual Girl Scout troops starting soon. We are starting some virtual programming, as well as the online programming that we've been doing at 11, 4, and 7. We have summer camps that are being scheduled and planned as we go. And so if you check out our website, camplikeagirl.org, you can find out more information there. And yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. I hope you've learned some more about making some fire starters that you can use with you, and we will see you tonight at 7 o'clock. Bye.